It's today's news in Warcraft, shamelessly blending the general inanities of today's news with the fun of, well, wait, I got that backward. It still applies. We're gonna start off with a song as we go after a couple of quests up here for Chromie the gnome chicken, and I'm actually going to do the Chrono Boon quest. As much as I hate it, but it's only because it gives XP. I'm not doing it because I want a Chrono Boon. I'm getting it because... Quit that! Forgot these ghoulies. I forgot about them ghoulies. But before we begin with our big news story, I have a song for you. You ready? And it's the only way to... It's the only way, okay? It's the only way to make sure that I can at least laugh through this the tiniest bit. Alright, let's do this. So, here's the song. Get ready. The courts ain't gonna save you. 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 Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? Because the Supreme Court laid it down on you. Crap. I'm gonna have to use a big cooldown. Sorry. What happened here? How did I get a skeleton on top of these god-awful things? No. So, the Supreme Court yesterday, in its oh-so-great, in its oh-so-lovely time, decided now that you cannot make a national injunction against Donald Trump as if you are in a lower court. So that means... Oh, oopsie. And... Alright, now, we'll try it again. Where are you? There you are. Nope, I guess not. Okay, well, so the Supreme Court basically said, okay, if this is that instead of weighing in on the whole birthright citizenship thing, which would have been a slam dunk for the 14th Amendment, slam dunk. Slam dunk. Go read it. Or here, why don't I read it for you? I'll bring up my Constitution app. If you don't have one of these, you need to. Section 1, 14th Amendment. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law. I'm going to go for the book. Those slugs are icky. Come here, you. And of the state within they reside, no state shall... I'm backward, sorry. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. That's the 14th Amendment. That's Section 1. The other sections deal with how the House is apportioned, how the Senate how the House is apportioned, how you can't be in a public office if you engaged in insurrection. Wonder what happened there. Where was the 2/3 vote? Didn't happen, did it? It's like they don't care about that document. But all this was a game that Donald Trump played against the Supreme Court itself. Oh boy, right? No. This is absolutely, they didn't make a decision on the constitutionality of Donald Trump declaring that someone's not a citizen and unilaterally getting rid of people that he doesn't like. That's what it was about. That's what the hokey pokey was all about here, okay? That's what this was all about. And now you can't. The court's decision. This is, I believe, Sonia Sotomayor. Yes, it is. The court's decision is nothing less than an open invitation. Listen to this warning. I will repeat myself. The court's decision is nothing less than an open invitation for the government to bypass the Constitution. The executive branch can now enforce policies that flout settled law and violate countless individuals' constitutional rights. And the federal courts will be hamstrung to stop its actions fully. So now with this decision, you can only block it for specific individuals or for specific states and nothing else. You don't get anything else. Okay? And there are some things like, trying to deport people without due process that means you have to. How are you going to do this? I mean, all they're going to do now, they've just made him a dictator. That's what they did. This plus the previous ruling that, of course, you decided to conveniently ignore and not watch here either, but that's beyond the point now, ain't it? Oh, I'm gonna get another mob. No! Oh my word! Yeah, somebody tried to get that elite, and no thank you. Someone tried to get that elite, and my problem is you're not getting me. Sorry. Now, and of course, this was a 6-3 decision. Surprise, surprise. Right? I wonder what 6 voted for Donald Trump. Oh, I wonder. The Supreme Court made Donald Trump a dictator. End of discussion. Get ready. And now I'm going to get to my other Donald Trump thing and hopefully get the book. So the Ayatollah Khomeini a couple days ago sent out a tweet or a whatever talking about how they completely obliterated Israel. I covered this one already, but y'all don't listen to me anyway, so that's beyond the point. No! Phooey. Alright, I'm gonna get you anyway. Bam. Well, it prompted a response, because it was so patently untrue, from a man who knows more about truth than anything else. A man who has his own social network to give you the truth. Do you know who it is yet? Okay, so go away, because I want the potion over anything else. So here is the response from Donald Trump. Quote, I'm not going to be able to get that. I'm going to have to go through 4 of them things. Whew. As a man of great faith, he is not supposed to lie. His country was decimated. His 3 evil nuclear sites were obliterated, all caps. And I knew exactly where he was sheltered and would not let Israel or the U.S. Armed Forces, by far the greatest and most powerful in the world, terminate his life. I saved him from this was all in caps, I saved him from a very ugly and ignominious, big word. I'm surprised he knows the big word, but I'm surprised his followers are going to know the big word. Honest to goodness, the stereotype has a very big ring of truth. I know there may be some of you that are halfway smart and understand what ignominious means, but there's a whole lot of the supporters out there that just don't. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I saved him from a very ugly and ignominious DEATH, and he does not have to say thank you, President Trump. In fact, in the final act of the war, I demanded that Israel bring back a very large group of planes, which were heading directly to Tehran, looking for a big day, perhaps the final knockout. It gets even better. During the last few days, I was working on the possible removal of sanctions and other things, which would have given a much better chance to Iran at a full, fast, and complete recovery. The sanctions are biting, all caps. But no, instead, I get hit with a statement of anger, hatred, and disgust, and immediately dropped all work on sanction relief and more. Iran has to get back into the world order flow, or things will only get worse for them. Now, let's unpack. Let's unpack some of this, okay? You, by the virtue. Why is that a foresight? I bet you I know why. Will the golden skeleton do that? I don't think it will. Let's find out. Nope. Okay, well, I hate those things. I'm surrounded by them. I'd rather have the searing ghouls. Good heavens. I know, that's crazy, ain't it? Now, so let's start unpacking this. The moment this big beautiful ceasefire began, it was already doomed, because Iran went right back into their rhetoric, and their state-sponsored media echoed the whole shebang, and there you go. It's like you didn't even think for 1 second that this was why the strangest ironic moment of the whole conflict, when the press studio got bombed right in the middle of propaganda messaging. I mean, that was why that happened. Okay, but I really need to get back to that first story. And dear God, the implications are just simply staggering. This plus the previous ruling saying that, yeah, he can do pretty much whatever he wants as long as it's a quote official act. They just gave a madman the keys to the kingdom. And truthfully, I don't know what anybody's going to do. You can't impeach him. Sorry. You don't have a majority to even bring that to trial in the Senate right now.
Oh, but we can do that in 2026, and we'll have control of the Senate, and we'll have control of the House.
No, you won't. No, not enough to do that. Sorry. Not nearly enough to do that. Sorry about your luck. You have to have 67 votes in the Senate. Right? Right. So let's look up Senate seats for election 2026. And we're going to find out what is... Sorry, I wasn't looking. Now, so... it's still going to go down anyway. It's not like it's going to matter. There we go. Aha. We'll drink when we look this up. Now, so, these are the seats. These are the seats. Ready? One in Maine. One in Maine. It's a red seat. It could go. It could change. Okay? It could change. New Hampshire, I think is going to stay blue. New Jersey, you can run a broomstick. Massachusetts, you could run a broomstick. Virginia could actually change red. Yeah, it really could. You think about that for a minute. It's starting to go more and more and more red by the minute. That could flip the other way around. Georgia, sorry. That's probably going to flip red. And as much as I want it to stay, we gonna be a little more understanding here of the situation. That is a likely flip to red. I'm going through the blue seats right now. Illinois, yeah, Chicago's going to guarantee you. I mean, Chicago guarantees you. Michigan may very well turn red, but I don't think it will. Minnesota, yep, broomsticked. Colorado, Denver, pretty much broomsticks this state. You're going to have a Democrat there. New Mexico, kind of iffy. And Oregon is the last of our blues, and it's and Portland, that whole West Coast is going to guarantee you a Democrat in there for the Senate. Now let's look at the red states. Ready? Montana, safe. Idaho, safe. Wyoming, safe. Alaska, might not be. Okay. And it might not be for Alaska. That may be an odd flip. That could be, because of the whole ranked choice voting thing. Nebraska might switch. Might. Kansas, nope, stays. Oklahoma, red. Texas, red. Louisiana, red. Arkansas, red. Iowa, red. Kentucky, very red. Mitch McConnell, I believe, is retiring, and that one is almost a slam dunk. Oh, okay. Well, we can take two at a time. I can do the two at a time with them. But I think Kentucky may very well be a slam dunk. Alabama, slam dunk. Go away. Ooh, leveled up. Okay, so we will go and train after this. But I can't hearth out. I gotta figure out my way out. I gotta figure my way out. I don't know where I'm at in the town, actually. Oh, I'm right next to the water. Okay, so I can jump. Okay, so Tennessee, red. Sorry, Florida, red. Florida's proved it. Florida's proved it. They're not going blue anytime soon. Sorry about your luck. They proved that. South Carolina, red. North Carolina stands a chance. It stands a chance now, don't it? West Virginia, red. And West Virginia's case, it's not just red, it's Donald Trump red. It's that red. Okay? It isn't that red. Ohio, you may stand a chance if you can get them turned out to change that one. But did that result in 66 seats for the Democrats? No. And here's why. Because the balkanization has already happened. It happened way back in around... Actually, it was around 2000 was where it began. And it just continued and continued and continued. Come on, let's get up here, come on. Gimme. There you go. It did begin around 2000, and it continues to this day, and is much worse than it ever could have been in 2000. So the Democrats will not get the Senate back again unless they can do something about that balkanization. Until you can run in for statewide office in, say, South Dakota, an Alabama, a West Virginia, a Mississippi, and actually stand a chance, you're not getting the Senate. Sorry about your luck there. And with that, I'm going to head on out because I'm just flying into Iron Forge to train. And I will catch you all later for today's news in Warcraft. This is Turkeytentia, and I wish you a great day and great gaming. Goodbye, everybody, and stay safe.